Hey guys, this is Allison from Alley Cat Creations. How are you? Before I begin, please hit that like, share, and subscribe buttons. I'll go into why. But some of you already know why. If you get anything from my work and you would like to support me and support feeding me and helping me move and function as a human being, the links will be in the drop box below. I did a video yesterday that I never uploaded. I was very angry, frustrated, sick to my stomach. I had a full out, blowout, screaming match with the universe. Had a lot of crying. And a very rough and very devastating weekend. I had a yard sale both days, today and yesterday. Friday, I basically needed a table. A lot of things are on this table, and I cleared it off, and one of the objects just really big. And even with the screwdriver and the rubber band, because someone stripped the shitty screws, I couldn't get it out. I eventually will. But in doing all of that myself, I don't know why I chose to have everything in this world be super duper harder for me. And this has been my whole life. Nothing has ever come easy to me. A friend today was like, you're natural at so many things. I'm like, I'm not though, because what appears to be natural took me years to even get, not perfect, but to where I could function. Having a lot of learning disabilities, and a lot of you know when you hear my read alouds, they're not anywhere near perfect. It's not an audible book. It's just me trying to help a collective of people look outside their paradigm. It does not come out organically. Reading out loud is the hugest challenge for me. It's something that was making me uncomfortable, but I surpassed my uncomfortability and did it. So I screamed at the universe. Like, I don't consent to shoving and cramming every lesson you could possibly cram in one lifetime in the short span of 39 years. I don't consent to that. Even though I arranged all this shit to happen and I have a strong will and I will push forward. Don't think I won't. But the challenge that I have is not necessarily me going through it. It's who's coming along to help me with it. I did a video on Dolores Cannon about the 3 waves of volunteers. And many of us volunteered to come here to help lighten the vibration, the load, just to be. Some of us needed to bring in the knowledge, the vibrations to help Gaia transform and to help everybody wake the fuck up, basically. And it's taking a lot longer than one would think, right? I only made selling stuff $3 this weekend. This is where my spiritual advice is going to come in. I promise. It's not just about Allison's journey. It is, but I want you to take a lot away from this. That's why I'm doing it personal. I speak personally from experience. Over the winter, I was, researching, reading, learning different things. And sometimes my brain just needs to have some downtime from like all the, crazy rabbit holes I go down. And I threw on a video about the Amish. Now, I live far, but I've seen the Pennsylvania Dutch. And on my trip to Indiana, I saw the Ohio Amish. And something clicked inside of me that really resonated with me watching the videos about the Amish. I don't agree with their religious standards. I don't agree with the not having technology or electric. That's just me, but they're free to do whatever they want that make them happy. But something that could help all of us, and why I lost my shit yesterday on the video that I didn't post, is because we should be having their mindset, their work ethic. What I've noticed in my journey through losing my job, through going through a very tough winter, not knowing how I'm going to make each month, selling a lot of the things that I never thought I would have to give up. And not to say that I'm materially attached, it's the stuff I worked hard for. I worked hard for everything that I have earned. And my parents worked ridiculously hard, gave up a lot of their life so that they could give me a better one. And that's what we all want for our children, and we all follow different circumstances. So I had to do some very difficult things over the winter to survive. But then watching the Amish, they help their community out. Someone gets hurt, someone falls, someone gets sick. Do you know the next day that there are people that come in and do the work until they get better? Or they didn't have a good crop, and that there are farmers who share so that they're not down and out a whole season? Do you know someone's house burns down or something happens during a catastrophe? They're out there getting materials and building a new house for them. Holy shit. Where did we all go wrong? And now I'm sitting here, and this is not a reflection on me in a negative way. I am a doer. If something happens, I am like out there doing, putting my action into motion because it gives a cause and effect that will help others. Saying something and doing something is two separate things. You could tell me that hey, Allison, put something to the side for me, I'll buy it from you, thinking you're going to help me out, and then you never show up, and then I could have sold it to someone else and gotten money. Right? Like, when you say you're going to do something, do it. If you can't do it, don't get pipe dreams. It's no judgment on somebody. I get it. Trust me. The saddest part is I was having a conversation with my really good friend as she asked me what was going on with the yard sale. Did I do anything today over the weekend? And I explained to her, I'm like, it doesn't take anything on social media to click the like button and to share my yard sale in my community. I'm not saying somebody from Europe should be doing that. No. But community wise, friends, people I grew up with, people I went to high school with. What does it take you 2 seconds on your page to support a person that's struggling? Maybe somebody on your page might need something that I have for way cheaper. Then I get the other crowd that just, I had some people come by today and they want things for next to nothing. I'm like, I'm going to tell you the price that I honestly paid for that, and I'm charging half. You want to go to Amazon? I'm charging you way less than Amazon. So I need to make income. I need to make money so that I can make this move possible. If I give everything away for $1, I am very in the hole still. So it the idea of setting an intention and put it into action, into motion, not just talking about it, like doing it, is where a lot of people are failing. And that's, I think, first, people need to start realizing that they're doing it. A lot of people do it unconsciously. A lot of people don't mean any harm by wanting to help, but they don't follow through with their action. For example, today, I'm a what's called a weather weenie. I love watching weather like storm chasers and weather. I must have died in a tornado or some crazy catastrophic event in one of my past lives that I'm very like. I did a 30-foot tornado installation at a yarn in my senior year of college as a project. I got the installation space and I created this humongous from ceiling to floor crazy scene. Don't know why, but I did it. There was a catastrophe in Kentucky. A few counties got wiped out by flash flooding. There's a lot of people dead. And I watched Ryan Hall yell. And then I watched the storm chasers who are with him. That he broadcasts storm chasers on his channel. And he made $50,000 to help out people. And you saw in action what he did, and it touched my heart. It really was like, wow, how can I help? I'm waiting on some emails. I have all this stuff that no one bought and that I need gone. If there's some way I can get it down there, someone can come and pick it up, or there's a truck or something, I wanted to go down there. Will it happen? I don't know. But that's just my mindset. When Hurricane Sandy happened, my house did not have power for 2 weeks. And a lot of other people as well lost everything. I went through my house, my pantry, my everything, and anything that I could think of that could help somebody in the immediate. I cleaned house. And I went and I donated my time for 2 weeks until my job was ready to go back and up and running. And when I got to my job, they were offering, because it was in a gym, free showers. So I would go around and ask people, if you need a ride to go get a shower, I will take you. I held a charity event to give Thanksgiving to those people that lost just about everything. And I got restaurants and vendors, and I had people helping me coordinate a Thanksgiving dinner for people and an early Christmas gift drop off. People can donate gifts and toys for the kids. That's where my heart is and always has been. And I don't want anything for it. I don't want nothing. I don't want anything in return. Why? Because that's what we all should be doing for everybody. If you have abundance, it doesn't need to be financial. And they put this in the Dolores Cannon video. Spirit really was like flowing through me yesterday, but it was like a little too much on my end. I had to listen to some music and do some meditation today and calm myself down. I'm upset. And especially how a lot of people have been talking to me. Very upset. People have been trying. I don't know if I'm just being triggered or I'm putting my boundaries up and I'm stopping the way people disrespect me, degrade me as a female. And then they turn it and make it internalized on them that they're a horrible person. It's like, no, I'm pointing out to you, I don't like the way you're speaking to me. It's inappropriate. I'm just asking you to stop. I'm not yelling at you. I'm just telling you the way you're approaching me and you're talking is not acceptable to me. I don't know you like that to joke around and sexualize things. You know, my Facebook picture is what some people would call risky. I'm just doing me. But if we always praise Martin Luther King in February, we should be doing it every freaking day. You shouldn't be judging me based on my outside exterior. You should be basing me on the content of my character. And we all should be doing that. There's too much judging. There's too many people that have hordes of things that they have enough to share. And you know, the people who give anything off their back is the people who know the struggle. The people who have been in those, not a similar situation. We're all in different situations. No one's the same because we're all individualized. We all perceive things differently. But I noticed it's the people that have nothing that want to give you everything. It's the people who have the extra food stamps when they have like 3 to 4 kids in their family and they get food stamps and they're giving me their extra instead of rolling it over for the next month. When I have people that make plenty of money that can't throw me $50 or they can't get me an Amazon delivery. And then they make comments to how skinny I got. Well, you have no right to do that because are you helping me? We need to be more like the Amish in mentality that we all come in and pick each other up when we fall. And it should be like that in a bigger sense. Things shouldn't be this hard for so many people. It's designed that way. We need to break that design mold because it's a part of the freaking simulation and matrix. How do you look outside of the matrix? The Amish aren't in it. They are self-sufficient. We might not accept their way of life, but their way of life works for them and it should work for everybody minus the religious aspect of it and not having electricity. But we should always know those foundational skills that we are never taught. We should know how to grow food, when to grow the food, when to sow the land, how to sow the land. YouTube and people are gardening experts don't always have it right. And then they use materials that have poisons in them. Unbeknownst to them. You know, we don't know. Just about everything has poison in it, guys. Nothing is truly organic. It really hurt me to know that people are watching me suffer, know that they could try to do something to help me, and they don't. They choose not to. Where I have, in their time of need, they scream me out for help, and I've done it. Guess what? I've tried to get people jobs. I put in a good word for people. I've looked in different places. I donate materials when people don't have it. I do what I can for others. You can't pour from an empty cup. But then if they have social media and they have something going on, I always try to support them in their work. It might not be every post, because I leave my social media on all day, but I'm not on it all day. I am doing stuff. I usually put it on so I can hear the ding if I get a private message. We have to be, as a society, taking care of each other. We wouldn't have as many homeless. We wouldn't have the problems that was designed for us if we all stood in our sovereignty and stood our grounds and helped each other out, because they that's what they don't want. They don't want people coming in and doing the good work, because we need them divided and weak. And if you don't think so, take a hard look at New York. As diverse and the biggest melting pot in the world, there it is here. The mindset is division. The mindset is the social experiment. Let's see how many people we can keep in fear. Let's see how many people will go along with the narrative and pump all this stuff, while like society's trying to show you like you've been duped and you need to stop your nonsense and stop living in fear. You're feeding them. Stop feeding the machine that's making all of this happen. I'm starting to notice that I'm withdrawing from the movement that I'm very passionate about, because I'm starting to notice people hawking products. Which is fine. Having a store, you got to make money too. People need to make income. People are taking the time out of their day to do really good work, and that they then have a podcast, or they're trying to enlighten people. It's free. I mean, nothing is free, by the way. You still have to pay for the internet. You still have the phone bill. You still have things you got to pay for in order to get those services, for the most part. And what I've been noticing is, oh, you got to take care of yourself. You got to take care of yourself. You got to take care of yourself. Oh, this, and this is going to help you. Well, you know what? How many of your viewers don't have money? And you're spending, hours, half hour, instead of what you normally would do and give out the information and just uplift people. It's all about some crazy item. You could do another show with the people that you're going to do those products with. And if those people are interested, then yeah, cool. And I'm not taking away from anybody's income, and I'm not trying to say anything, but There are too many people in suffering right now that need some hope and need some good vibes and need the information to keep them sane. And it's starting to become like a circus that other people have already like went around, and I stopped watching and giving them my attention because like I don't want to feel bad. I don't want to sit and feel like this is all that's going to ever be in my life is struggle, 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 failure and denial and failure and denial and rejection and being ignored and feeling invisible, because that's all I feel. And many other people feel the same way. We feel invisible. We feel that no matter what we try, no matter what we do, we get the door slammed in our face. And you know how many times you get rejected, and then that, people say this, there's always a yes that will come eventually. Well, what happens in the in between when you need to eat? When you have bills, when you have responsibilities, when you're taking care of pets. I can get denied all day long, but there's no one helping me in the in between. This is where the Amish mindset would come in, because people would pick me up and figure it out and help me better myself, not always having their hand out looking for something. As much as I'm upset that I didn't make anything this weekend, a lot of my stuff is going to the garbage on Tuesday. And then the rest of it, I'm going to try to donate to Kentucky. If I can't get it to Kentucky, it's going to the Vietnam Veterans Association that we have here that takes just about anything. So I'm going to clean out whatever I can, and I hope that people who need it will be able to use it. And as long as I know that I did a good deed and that whatever I have is going to help people. I'm gonna have to figure. I might have to take 7 car trips back and forth too, and then scrap everything and sleep on the floor. I'm okay with that. It is what it is. Wherever I end up, or live out of my car. No one should have to get to that point. And I now some people choose to be homeless. That's they want that chaotic, awesome experience in life. They just nomadic lives. People do like that and enjoy that. And that's the thing that, sets a lot of other people apart. But that's what they want to do. That's their free will. I didn't ask for any of this to happen to me. I know I planned it to happen to me so that it would create a better soul. But in the meantime, we're all fractals of each other. So why aren't we stepping up to help ourselves? We're still in this, I'm very selfish. It's all me, 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 all about me. And everybody's like, well, let go of the ego. Well, yeah, you can let go of the ego, but what are you doing to help the people in your community that are suffering? Have you ever thought about that, certain things? People are going behind paywalls now where they said they would never, and now they are. You know how I would love to do a Patreon. I can't afford the other streaming service that works well with that. I would have an SD store. I would do a lot of things. It costs money up front that I don't have. That's why Spirit came to me. I was screaming. I was ranting and raving. I was having like the worst day. I needed a vent. And I'm not venting on people that are everything to me right now. I have very good people in my life that have barely next to nothing, and they always think of me, and they are always trying to help me. But on a collective scale, it's not enough. And they know that. They're like, I don't know why people just can't share. You put up a post about a yard sale. What harm does it do to put it on your page to get more people to come? Why can't people support you? Knowing I'm by myself, knowing that I have no one to lean on. We need to do better as a society and as humanity, and it starts in a community. It starts at home. It starts with abundance. You don't need to be financially abundant. You know how many things I have in my house? If I can't sell, it's going to people who need it as much as I need that income. But I know that that's something I have abundance of, and if that's something I could share, I will. What do you have in your house or in your apartment, or what services do you have that would make you feel really good knowing that if something happened, you can give to somebody? It could be advice. Are you an artist? Do you know a program, or do you know kids that you could take an hour out of your day to just do art projects with? If it wasn't for the I would have donated my time to do read alouds in the library for the kids. I did it. It's on my channel for my classes. I was asked to do read alouds. Kids loved it. What can you do? How can you share your abundance? What do you have in excess of that you don't need? Or you take what you need and the rest you can give to somebody else. I asked Spirit why we haven't moved up to physically, why things are taking so long. Because, reading all the books that I do, a lot of commonalities happen where, a lot of things started really coming in the 1980s when I was born. And like the awakening movement really started like pitching a tent in the 90s. And a lot of information started streaming in the 2000s. And here we are in the 20s, and we still haven't graduated. It will come, and it's on its way. There's no doubt about that. There's no stopping what is coming. The problem is what's stopping what's coming is all of us and our mindsets. And 4D is unconditional love and compassion. If you can't have compassion and empathy for other people, if you can't visualize yourself in someone's situation, that's a good practice to put into motion. Put yourself in what would happen if you had been walking in my shoes. What happens if your life was ripped away from you? What happens if a storm came and ripped everything away from you? What would you expect your community to do? Every year, there's tornadoes, there are floods, there are mudslides, there are horrible things that happen in this world, and people's lives are gone in a snap. You know who picks up? The community. People run into harm's way to do the right thing. And I know New Yorkers could do it because we did it for 9/11 and we did it for Sandy and many other events that have occurred. People in time of crisis don't look at each other's skin, don't look at each other's religion. Everybody's hands-on and does. So out of nowhere, that mentality changed. It like did a twist. And people are not acting, knowing that people are suffering. Now, again, We're still waiting for the audit for the $850 million that Bill de Blasio stole. Wilhelm, Mr. SS, Marxist, stole from me and everybody that lives in New York. How much of my tax dollars have gone to op projects that they are not disseminating information from because the public can't know because, but my money that I worked hard for, regardless of a corporation or not, you took. So I deserve to get that information because I paid for it. Yep. So a lot of people would say that what I'm doing is complaining. I'm taking you all on my journey. That's a big part of my channel. And I want to give people hope. I want to bring people out of their darkness to get inventive, to think outside of the box, to critically think, to be logical about things. Because you can try to manifest what you would like, but it's up to the universe to give it to you. And it's what you ordered in your life. So the takeaway from my ranting is that we really need to do better as a humanity to start locally in our communities to spread the abundance that you have. And again, it doesn't need to be money. It doesn't take much to go like somebody's video because then it puts out in the algorithm. We have to play the 3D game, right? Most of us are already highly dimensional souls, but we're in a 3D body. And we need to play the chess game wisely. And when you do that and manipulate what you know, you get results. So as much as, people like view my videos and never like them, what harm does it do if you're watching it throughout the thing and you align with yourself with certain things? Why can't you hit that like button? I get so many more views and 0 likes, 5 likes on a video. That doesn't spread the word out. And no, you don't need to resonate with me or agree with me. That's the design of being fractalized of everybody, right? Because we all perceive reality different. We all perceive situations differently. And during the Kentucky incident, one of the storm changers said something that I resonated with because I say the same thing. Thoughts and prayers only go so far, right? People say I'm praying for you. Are you really? Are you speaking to Creator and using my name? I know people that do, and I appreciate it. But are you really putting what you're saying into motion, into action? People need help. When people ask for help, there should be abundance of it. There should not be crickets chirping, trickling in. There should be people that come in to help. More than enough that you're sending people away. Right? That's how it should be for every situation that someone goes through. happens with the Amish. That's why I'm bringing it up. This is spirit talking right here. We need to have that mindset and the Amish mindset, their thinking and their doing. Don't let anybody fall. In the video that I did yesterday, I'm going to give a prime example. I used to go to heavy metal shows. L'Amour's, BB King's, Roseland, all over the place. I used to go in the mosh pit. Yes, little old me, swinging and getting kicked and hit and scratched. It was a good vent. Okay, everybody respected each other to an extent. And I'm going to tell you why. At any of the shows I have ever went to, and I went to a lot of my friends were in bands that played before the big guys, right? The big showstoppers. I met a lot of very interesting characters along the way, believe it. I have yet to have fallen on the floor. Before I even hit the floor, somebody is picking me up and not touching me inappropriately and not grabbing areas where they shouldn't be grabbing. Seriously, under the armpit, up you go, back into it. Never fallen once in a show. Being thrown around like a rag doll, never hit the floor, because there's always people on the perimeter that helped you up. Has anybody experienced the wall of death? If you haven't seen what that is, you should look. It's fun. But that was my life. I used to go to shows on the weekends. I used to, get bent and kick butt. And it was brutal and amazing. At the same time, people were respectful and people never let you hit the floor. So we need to take that kind of approach to you don't want to see anybody hit the floor. You want to do what you can in the little ways that you can do it. Everybody's pinched. Everybody's financially hurting right now. But there are other ways you can help people that take nothing and no effort. It's a click. If you know someone's doing really good work or attempting to, why don't you interview them? Put them on your channel if you have a channel. Bring new, fresh faces to the scene. People that are suffering, that are in blue states, that got everything ripped away from them because everybody else in America is back to work and everybody's hunky-dory, where there are people still suffering from this tyranny. A coworker of mine that also left with the same circumstances as me, she was talking to me today and she's like, I can't get a job. I've tried. I've went all over the place. These people are freaking batshit crazy. I don't know what to do. Like, you can't get through to people here. Like, they don't want to hear it. They just don't care. That's really another issue. Politics aside, you know how many people I lost because they don't align with my views? But I don't align with theirs, but I don't hate them, and that's theirs to have. I don't judge. I'm not sitting there and pointing a finger like you caused this. No, but you're a part of the problem when you're seeing someone suffering for something that's injustice and against the law. I mean, again, we don't read our founding documents. We're not taught our founding documents. We might know them by chance, but we don't know the nitty-gritty details of what's written for us and what the executive orders written are. We don't have that information because people just choose not to read it and ignore those things. That affect us on our everyday lives, believe it or not. There's a lot of selfishness and a lot of greed going on in the world. And I'm noticing that I stopped watching a lot of people because all they were doing was hawking gold, silver, and crypto. And it became like the obsession to tell people, well, you got to secure your future. Well, if that certain thing is supposed to happen and drop, then why are we worried about the future? Why aren't we focused on the present moment? So maybe it isn't happening. And a lot of you, I have to quote that. Many of you know what I'm talking about. The Jubilee. We shouldn't have to worry about what's going into the future if we can't fix what's going on now. I'm tapped out of everything. I went through everything I have to just survive. I have a very strong will to live, even though I have moments that I break down and I have a lot of weapons behind me that I would very highly use. But I won't. I've been in those places before. I've been in those abysses before. I've seen evil in its face before. I know what it looks like. But I have to remind myself I am the light of the infinite creator, as all of you are as well. And in those dark moments, I have to shine my light to make my way out of that deep abyss. I got to use my wings to fly up. Because not many people will be there to put there and extend their arms down because of their scaredness to know what's down in that abyss. I had too many people commit suicide in my life. My birth mother, my uncle, and a bunch of my friends took their lives because they couldn't handle it. You know why they couldn't handle it? Because there was no one there for them. And though they might have had people there for them, they didn't feel, they didn't experience, they didn't get the hand that they needed when they needed it at the moment. They didn't get the help they asked for. They reached out and screamed for help. People were too busy doing them and doing their lives to reach a hand out. Or they were ignored. And I know, and I'm not going in, not touching my birth mother. I'm not here to disrespect my birth family, but oh yeah, okay. Enabling my mother, good job. Allowing what happened to her and being okay with it, and then being super high roller, holy roller. You'll be judged. You're gonna learn a lot too when you get up there. Really understand where you are in your life and where you're going to be. Showing the kids the examples of how charitable and how you're a part of the community. We're here, like I said in the Dolores Cannon video, we're here really to give examples to the next generation of children coming in that are star season light workers. And the majority of them are, and the majority of them are already a DNA upgrade. So they're waiting on us. And they need us to show them the way, and then they're going to lead. They can't do that if we're not there yet. We can't ascend if we're not there yet. We can't go out and talk and do without action. Put your words that you speak into action. Saying you're going to do something and then doing it is two separate things. Show up. Take responsibility. If you say you're going to do something, do it. And of course, things do come up. No one's saying that things have to happen like in a snap. But if you say you're going to do something, you're trying to help somebody, do it. You could be the difference in a game changer in someone's life just by showing up. When I get into my abundance financially, don't think I'm not taking care of the people that gave whatever they could to me. Those are the people that count the most to me. Those people have nothing, and they're doing everything they can for me. But it should be a collective doing it, and it should be a collective doing it for more than one person. It should be a collective looking at the masses who's asking for help. Not everybody wants help. Not everybody's screaming for help. Some people are content in what they have, and that's perfectly fine, and it has to be respected. But there are people asking for help, and where is the help? And I'm not alone in that. We have to take it upon ourselves. We keep waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. Some of us know what's going down in the road. Some of us know a lot more than most people in terms of doing our own research and looking at the facts and figures and putting it into a configuration in our brains and going, oh, okay, this now makes sense. So, how many more years do we have to wait for things to start happening? Well, you know what? We have to make it happen. That's the difference. We have to put the action into motion. We can't wait for the people that we pay for to do an act because they're not doing an acting. If it's a movie and it really is done, what are we waiting for? For people to go hungry and die? For people to lose electricity in these kind of weather conditions? This is I'm watching my own family who cannot do anything for me. The 3 people I talk to, they're on the brink of everything. My aunt was telling me she eats Ritz crackers. My 72-year-old aunt. Because she has no income. It's not enough. Thankfully, my cousins help her out. And all she says is, I wish I was closer, I would help you. Again, it's the people that have nothing, that know the struggle, that's been there, and that's been stripped of their dignity, that do for others. Why? My best friend, who died at 24 from osteosarcoma, lost his leg. Right before he died, me and him have a conversation. I was newly diagnosed 2 years prior with rheumatoid arthritis, and I was constantly in pain. I couldn't move. And he's like, you're going to have a really hard life. And he goes, I don't mean to sound dim on you and grim, but he was like, this is the facts of life. You have something that people look at you and don't know that you have because you can't see it. It's not tangible, but it is within you that there's something wrong. He goes, you're strong and you don't show all the time the pain that you're in. You mask to other people that you really can't walk. He's like, I know that you can't because I know what that pain is and I can see it in your face, but other people, you would never look at you to see that. He's like, unless you go through it, you don't really comprehend it. The medium said the same thing to me. She's like, most mediums and most people who are spiritually gifted have rougher and harder lives because you are the ones that are going to experience hell in a handbasket so you can help other people walk through that hell because they don't have the stronger will you do. And you're going to guide them through those times. And I agree with that. Do you know how many people I helped walk through when my mother died and that their moms or, fathers got sick and I helped them get through those hard times? Too many to count. And I do it for free and I do it with love and grace. Because losing a parent is not easy, especially when you're young. What can you contribute to the world? It could be anything that you do. Are you funny? Are you rescuing animals? Through a movement that I'm a part of, I met another wonderful, beautiful person who has a YouTube channel called Raising Isaiah. And she had a profound experience. Universe gave her this. And she does shorts of this cute little amazing dove that she's rescued. And I urge everybody to go like and share her page. Why? Because who doesn't like to see cute animals? It raises your vibration. I love watching cute animal videos. Someone yesterday in my neighborhood had a parrot on a leash so it wouldn't fly away on the shoulder of the kid. It was the cutest damn thing, and I wanted to ask if it did, if it talked, but they were in a rush. I don't know where they were going. It put a smile on my face. Today, there's a lot of hawks in the air, and they were just soaring down. I was in my heyday. I saw blue jays. I haven't seen it in forever. I was watching nature, and it was beautiful, and it uplifted my vibration as down in the dumps and depressed and invisible and just feeling like I don't count in the world because I scream, and yes, people do hear it and they do come to my aid, but they can't always come to my aid, and there's nobody to replace when they can't do. There's a difference. I have people looking for boxes. My neighbor today at the end of the day came in and said, "Hey, Allison, guess what? I have some boxes. And it might not be big enough, but I have boxes, so I'll take anything you have. Thank you. I appreciate it." Little things like that make me excited. They make me happy. It makes me renewed faith in humanity. That there are good people out there, but there's not enough good people out there that are doing the good work. So this is why I'm doing this video, is to try to shake people out of their selves. If you have abundance in whatever form it is in, and you see that somebody needs it, why are you holding back from giving it? Why? What's so difficult? You know how many people I ask, "Hey, if you have boxes, I don't care what size, please hold on for them for me. I will try to come figure out how I'm going to pick them up. Or if you want to come drop them off, and I have stuff for the kids, I like to have an even exchange of energy." Something. You're doing something nice for me, I'm going to try to do something nice for you. I have so many things that I want to donate to my friends' kids. Art supplies I'm not using. I had a box of paint for free. I'm like, anybody come, take a bag, pack up how many things you want. I don't care. Take it. Free. I had a whole bin of like 3 bins of free stuff today. Take it. I can't use it right now. It's going to sit there. use it. I don't want things going to waste. That is the mindset that we need to start pitching in and having. I like to collect books, and I usually go back to my books and cite them years after, especially the philosophy and my metaphysical books. But I have a lot of books that I have given away that I'm not ever going to read again or refer back to. I give them to people, or I go to the library and see if they need donations, or to the nursing home, or wherever they will take it. It's important that we start looking out and how can we help? What could we do? And it doesn't need to be every day, and it doesn't need to be every second of the day that it consumes you. If you spend 1 hour a day thinking about, okay, if I'm on YouTube and I'm just, looking at, oh, Allison posted, oh, let me see. Oh, I don't really like that book. You know what? But I can give her a like. Does that harm anybody? Or is that helping? Oh, I want to see a cute dove. I'm going to go to Raising Isaiah. And I'm going to support that channel. You know why? Because that person's doing good work, giving awareness. And I don't want to give too much away because I want you to go watch what kind of good deed she's doing. It's all about your mindset, and it's all about putting your action into motion. It takes a lot for some people to ask for help. It took me a lot to publicly put out my business. I'm an open book to people that I know personally, but to strangers, I don't usually. And I had to put my pride down, and I had to start because I think a lot of people need to learn from other people's experiences. If you don't talk about it, no one knows about it. And I put it into the ether, hoping that someone will resonate and it will help other people that are down and out who are looking for help and don't know how to get it. What do you need, and how and who has it? Start there. It's not about money all the time. Sometimes it's just you listening to somebody that needs to vent. Maybe someone comes to you for advice and you give them multiple options of where to go. And it's their free will to take it or not. Do you know how many people I've walked out from a cliff and just talked to them and listening to them? When a storm comes, a catastrophe happens in a town, and you're close by. Are you going to sit home, or are you going to pick yourself up and see if you can help? Helping is sharing the streams, and helping is you physically need to be looking for dead bodies or trying to find the missing. It could be communicating with different services. Hey, do you need anything? Maybe I could find somebody that has this. Oh, I think the neighbor has that kind of power tool that might be able to be helpful for you. Let me see if I can call and get that person to go. You could be the in-between and the go-between. It's the little deeds that we do every day that fills this world up to be a better place. But we can't do that if everybody's stuck in their 3D, egoistic, greed-filled existence. Of course, we all want nice things. We want to take the family on vacation. We want the kids to go to summer camp. We want to have good experiences, to have good memories. But think about the people who can't have any of those things. Think about the people that are looking for their next meal. What is it that you can do if you are a gardener and you plant and you have extra food? What could you do to help? Especially the people that you know that are asking. Some people are very silent about the help that they need. You know why? Because they've been denied and they don't get the help, so they stopped being loud about it, talking about it. I've done that for many years. When I really needed a voice to listen to me because my parents were too much at certain times of periods of my life where I wanted to die because I didn't feel like I meant anything. I felt invisible like I am now. I feel very invisible to a lot of people that I was, hopeful that would have helped me in some form, shape, capacity. Mention my channel on their podcast, whatever. That's their free will. Not meant to happen. Universe, will provide me somewhere else. But it's the point. I know plenty of people who stopped asking. I stopped asking when I was a kid because I didn't get any help. You never know. You might be the person that saves somebody's. That's a high regarded thing to have. That's a beautiful, beautiful feeling when you know that you helped somebody out. It makes me feel good that whatever I'm going to donate is going to go to a good home and they're going to be utilizing what I donate. Even though I couldn't sell it and it doesn't help my situation, I know in my heart I'm doing the right thing. And it makes me feel good regardless of my circumstances. I have compassion and I have empathy. I actually feel people's energy. I absorb people's energy. I know the intention that someone holds. Not easy to deal with all of that. It's overdrive right now. But I could visualize myself in someone else's shoes, go through the motions in my mind, and in that way comprehend what someone and the pain that they're feeling. And then I could figure out how to help. And not everybody has that ability, and it's not easy to do. Put yourself in someone else's shoes or take their situation and apply it to you. What happens if everything got stripped away? You would hope your community stepped in to help, right? It starts locally and then it goes around the planet. It starts with you. And I'm going to leave you guys on that. It starts with you. Think like the Amish. Because we're headed in that direction. Unconditional love and compassion is what we need to work for 4D. You can't skip those lessons. There's no skipping. Co-host is here. We can't skip anything. It's not how the universal law of one is meant to be. You have to learn all those lessons. But you can make your lessons easier when you have compassion, you have empathy, and you're not expending anything and you're trying to get a good emotional response from yourself and make other people happy. That's what it's about. It's being selfless, knowing that you're doing the right thing. She's shutting bad. It's hot and humid, and I don't have the air conditioning fixed. We need to be here for each other. We need to do better as humanity. And I'm asking those of you who do give me the time of day, you probably are the ones that are compassionate and are doing what you need to do for humanity. Little acts at a time, little good deeds every day. But I challenge those in the future who watch this video, the people who, just scroll through and like, oh, I don't know. There is going to come a time where something happens to you that you need help and there's no one there to lean on. Then you have to put your pride down and start asking strangers for help. You would want to be treated with dignity and respect. We got to start showing it to receive it. We can do better. And we need to start doing it now. It's not gonna help anybody if we don't start doing these good acts and good deeds. You don't need to film it. You don't need to talk about it. Just do it. And it's gonna ripple effect, because when other people see that you're stepping in, more people start stepping in. It's a ripple effect that people start seeing that other people are doing more. People are going to want to join on that team. When you're not doing enough for the people who are really truly suffering, and it's not being spread out equally, we're going to get unequal results, and we're going to take longer and longer, and things are going to perpetually keep going in the direction that it's going in, because we're not making the changes. We need to make the change as a collective, not just one person doing all the work. That's not how we grow as a humanity. One person makes a difference, they make a huge difference, but if a collective does it, that's monumental. And we need to start thinking that way. Have the Amish mindset, minus the religion, minus the non-technology, because a lot of us can't give it up. I get that that's hard. Let's have that mindset. Don't let anybody fall. We got to take the capitalist idea and kind of change it a little bit to where it doesn't necessarily mean money. Your energy is your currency. Are you putting out good energy, or are you putting in bad energy? That's up to you to decide. We could do better. And I hope that this impacts somebody who is on the floor crying, knowing what I'm talking about. I am here in some form or capacity to talk to help. That's my purpose. One of my many. Don't do anything stupid. It's not your fate. But I am here. So if you need to talk, you want to talk privately, my email is listed. Please email me. I do see them. I am busy boxing. Excuse you, Missy. I can't get rid of this chair. I'm gonna have to take it with me. This one with her claws. Let's do better. We can do better. Sending each and every one of you love and light. Before I end, I'm not here to disrespect anybody, anybody's movement. I just ask to think about, what can you do with your platforms? Because I don't see so many blue state patriots talking about those suffering, that are needing help, that did lose their jobs to mandates, and that can't get anything and they're stuck. I'm not seeing really anybody doing that. I'm seeing information regurgitated. What could you do with a bigger platform that could help the small person out? What harm does it do to mention at the end of a podcast, oh, you should go check out this channel. You should go look over here. That person needs help. Let's rally. Let's see what we can do. It only happened with 2 people on my side that stepped in and tried to help me. But what happens if the whole collective does it? And then when I'm back on my feet, I can do the same for other people. I've always done it. I just don't want accolades for it. It's my mission. I'm a very giving person. And I hope more people become that way too. I hope everybody has a great week ahead. Please be safe. Please be seen. Ignore a lot of the world that's going on. And again, I am here for anybody that needs to talk, to vent, and to just, I am a good ear to listen, and I might be somebody that can help you in another way that you might not think. So don't think that just because I'm in a rough spot right now, that doesn't mean that I can't help you in some way. So please, if you resonate with that, reach out. Hope everybody has a good one. Because this is what I was doing for most of my day, sitting outside, meditating, looking at birds, is also writing notes for the next part of Kabbalion because it is so good. And Spirit sings. So until that one comes out, most likely tomorrow, see you on the next one. Bye, guys.